we're going to cover the 5 keys to accepting what you can't change. As William James put it, acceptance of what has happened is the first step to overcoming the consequences of any misfortune. Accepting what we don't like may be one of the most difficult aspects of life, and I'm all for taking action and changing what we can, but inevitably there will be people, situations, and events we don't like and that we aren't able to change. Excuse me. Do you find yourself trying to change things you have no control over? It's a question a lot of people tend to want to ask. I mean, if so, you probably find it difficult to be satisfied and content with life, and if we can't change a situation or an outcome, our best option is to learn how to accept it and then, well, deal with it. Acceptance has many benefits. A more positive attitude, less worry and stress, less energy drained from trying to figure things out, ability to embrace change, greater appreciation and gratitude, more compassionate perspective, and so on and so forth. Acceptance is not the same as resignation or passivity. We can continue to push forward despite accepting that there are things beyond our control. Here are a few tips I'm going to give you to living with greater acceptance so you can have a more joy and peaceful mindset. All right, part 1. Let go of the past. I can't make it any clearer, actually, to be honest. We all have baggage that we carry from our past, and this baggage gets heavier the longer we hold on to it. Many people have a hard time letting go of the past. We carry a mental reminder of our mistakes and losses with us everywhere we go, not realizing how much they steal from our present joy and contentment. We can't change the past. However, what happened in your past happened. So our only hope is to learn how to accept our past and basically move forward. As one of my favorite artists, C.S. Lewis, once put it, getting over a painful experience is much like crossing monkey bars. You have to let go of at some point in order to move forward. Otherwise, you're just holding onto the same bar that you were in the beginning. 2. Learn coping skills. At one point or another, life will present us with an unexpected turn of events. It may be difficult, let me rephrase that. It may be a difficult loss or a failure of epic proportions that we aren't prepared to deal with yet. Sometimes these events are beyond our current ability to cope, so part of the acceptance process is learning new ways to cope with a crisis, whatever it may be, and keep your emotions in check, so you can make a more conscious decision about how to deal with the difficult situations that you're faced with. Which brings me to part 3. Make it meaningful. Okay? Sometimes the worst things happen to us at the end. End up being the most fundamental part of our personal growth. It is easier to accept something when we explore the opportunities and possibilities that come out of it. So it brings this question: what can you learn from your difficulty? How has the difficulty made you a stronger person? As Viktor Frankl once said, when we can no longer change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. This in turn helps you to grow as a person in mind, spirit, and body. 4th, expect less. We live in a world that tells us to want more, be more, and do more. This isn't always a negative message, but it often gets in the way of our life satisfaction. When something doesn't meet our expectations, we are disappointed and angry. Life can appear purposeless, unfair, and ruthless if our expectations are unrealistic. So instead of expecting something to happen or expecting a person to act a certain way, try to focus on accepting and creating. Focus on what you want to create instead of what you expect to happen. Creation is motivating and expectation is demanding. You have to know the difference between the two. And finally, the 5th key. Set new goals. When we run into failure or setbacks, it can feel like we are stuck with nowhere to turn. Life will take unexpected turns, and when this happens, our trajectory might have to change as well. This is a point where it is in our best interest to move on and let go of what we want. If something doesn't work the way we planned, don't get caught up in the outcome. Okay? Instead of doing the same thing and expecting different results, accept things aren't working that way you planned and do something different. You may not be able to change what you're going through right now, but this doesn't mean you can't live a full and meaningful life. You can adapt and adjust to your present circumstances. Stop avoiding the difficult issues and only focusing on what you can't change. Focus on what you can do about the situation. And if you can't change something, it's time to accept the reality. You know, what do you need to accept so you can be happier and more fulfilled? And that's the question I'm going to leave you with today. You have to consider what you can do to make it so that you're not only a happier person, but you're stressed free, anger free, resentment free, basically removing all these negative emotions that have plagued mankind since the beginning. The very emotions that causes us to sin and do the stuff that is not right, stuff that gets you arrested, killed, hurt, leaves you in an emotional distress. These are the things that we must consider. So I leave this thought with you, and I pray that you come to terms with your past or whatever has happened to you previously, and that you're able to move forward with your life and aim higher. Like I said before in the relationship series and respect, know what you're worth and don't settle for anything less. But don't set your expectations so high that they're unattainable. And with that, this is Food for Thought, Thoughts If It Were You Morals series by Gentrics. We'll pick this up with the remaining 7 morals tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day.